Welcome to this week's look at the state of the New York City real estate market, where I take a look at the luxury market, the Manhattan market, and the Brooklyn market. I do it because I want you to be informed. It never hurts when you're a consumer to be informed. Welcome to this week's look at the state of the New York City real estate market. As always, I'm going to be looking at the statistics over the last week. That would be the week of September 26th to October 2nd. And I always look at the luxury market, the Manhattan market, and the Brooklyn market. Before we get started, I just want to apologize for the lighting. I usually record these in the afternoon and rely a fair amount on the day being at least reasonably sunny, and we're getting quite a cloudy day. It's raining outside, so bear with me on the lighting. Anyway, hopefully the report itself, the data, will make up for the shortcomings of the production values. All right, let's get started. We're going to get started with the luxury market as we always do. Last week there were 14 contracts signed. Interestingly, co-ops outsold condos 8-6, and there were no townhouses that went into contract. Now, bear in mind, luxury properties in Manhattan means anything priced at $4 million and above. As I said, there were 14 contracts signed. That is 2 fewer than the previous week. Very likely the 2-day Jewish holiday played a role in this, as well as the continuing rise of the mortgage interest rates and the turbulent times in the stock market. But let's take a look now at the number 1 and number 2 contracts. Now, as I said, co-ops outsold condos this last week, but both of these properties, the number 1 and number 2 properties, were condos. The first one was 57A at 23 East 22nd Street. It was asking $16 million. The 3-bedroom, 3.5 bathroom unit has 3,310 square feet. It has sweeping views of the Empire State Building, Madison Square Park, and the city. 1 Madison is the building, and this condo is owned by media mogul Rupert Murdoch, who bought the apartment for just under $15 million in 2014. Above the 57th floor, meaning above this unit, he's also selling a triplex penthouse asking $58 million. The amenities in this building include a doorman, concierge, a fitness center with an indoor pool, steam room, lounge, screening room, and a private dining room. The number 2 contract was 46B at 217 West 57th Street. It was asking $14,075,000. It was reduced from about $15.5 million, which was the original offering plan price. It has 3 bedrooms, 3.5 bathrooms. As I said, it's a condo. It has a little over 2,600 square feet, views of Central Park from the living room and dining area. The unit is in Central Park Tower. It is a 1,550-foot tall skyscraper with 179 units that started marketing in 2018 as the world's tallest residential building. Over 50,000 square feet of amenities, which include indoor and outdoor pools, fitness center, a children's playroom, and a club room on the 100th floor that includes a ballroom, a bar, dining facilities, and, yes, wait for it, a cigar lounge. Okay. Year to date, 23 units have closed, averaging $5,228 a square foot with an average size of 3,055 square feet. That is quite a hefty price per square foot. Let's take a look now at the quick stats for last week. The total weekly asking price sales volume, 115,704,000. The average asking price, 8,264,571. The median asking price, 6,245,000. The average discount from original ask to the last asking price, 6%. and the average days on the market, 291. We are definitely seeing a shift in this market. We have turned a corner. We're now in October. October is usually the strongest month of the fall market. As I've been saying, September historically was always our slowest. So anybody really looking to get their deal done should be looking to get it done in October. We aren't seeing really a whole lot of new inventory coming on the market. Our inventory is tracking, though, where, kind of historically where we were last year with inventory, but we're not seeing a lot of new listings coming on the market. And so it remains to be seen what's going to happen over these next few weeks. I'm going to talk more about that as we get into the Manhattan market. That's it for the luxury market. Be sure if you have any questions to post them below. If you find this information helpful to you, if you're a buyer or a seller or a property owner just wanting to know how the current market is affecting your position, please subscribe. Please feel free to share these videos with people if you think it would help them in what they're trying to do as well. Okay, let's move on now to the Manhattan market. Okay, what happened last week in Manhattan? Well, let's take a look at this monthly chart. We are seeing that supply is for the month at 1,960. That is up almost 134%. That is a nice big bump, but it's really not tracking any higher than what it was last year. So good to know. It's kind of at tracking with where we were in terms of supply with last year. When we take a look at the 1 week chart, though, you'll see some additional information about what's happening from a new listing perspective. Because don't forget, this is the time when we should be seeing anybody who's serious about selling, we should be seeing them getting their properties on the market. But for now, let's keep an eye on this monthly chart. Contracts signed, 615 for the month. That's down almost 16%. Again, we are tracking with where we were, let's say in 19 and 20. We're a little behind 21 with the contract signed, but still not bad. The off-market properties have gone down. 624 off-market properties, down about 14%. The most interesting thing about this chart, whether it is the monthly look or the weekly look, is that we are in this neutral market, but actually we are moving closer and closer to this being a buyer's market. Now, that is something that buyers should be paying very close attention to. It will not last. Nothing ever lasts. So pay attention. Don't miss this opportunity. If you're a buyer, take advantage of this market. Let's move now. We're going to take a look at the 1 week look. So now that we talked about supply, right? Supply historically kind of tracking last year. It seems to be rising with the season. However, the new inventory, so what we saw last week, 402, that's actually down a little bit, 5.41%. Contracts signed also down 154, down about 8%. Off market is up 227, almost 60%. Again, we are looking at a neutral market that is moving closer to favoring the buyers. And as I started doing last week, I'm going to share some detailed charts with you for those people who really want more granular information showing the kind of the market-wide Manhattan supply, pending sales, market pulse, days on market, monthly new supply, contract activity, price per square foot, the median sales price, the median listing discount. This is for the people that have been asking for that. So take a look at these charts. Let me know if you have any questions. I want to show you the supply chart. And again, as I said, you will see we're looking at a kind of a bigger view from 2019 all the way to now. We're seeing the Manhattan inventory continues in line with last year's trend. We're also seeing the pending sales, the demand, continuing to reset lower as peak deals fade out and new fall deals have yet to hit in force. New listings. Now, you can see in this chart that the weekly new listings are ticking down even as this fall season is underway. The next 2 weeks will tell the tale. If we do not see a big uptick in inventory in the next couple of weeks and subsequent contract activity increasing, this is not going to be a terrific fall market. And does that mean you shouldn't do anything? No, it doesn't mean that. It just means that I think a lot of people were hoping that the fall market would really be a busy, active market. But again, we are in a different kind of environment right now. We are seeing climate of rising interest rates. We are hearing lots of news about inflation. And we're also seeing a kind of a turbulence in the stock market. These are all things that are giving a lot of people a lot to think about and perhaps giving some people pause. That being said, there is still opportunity. You just need, if you're a seller, you really need to price your property in a compelling way to attract the buyers. You need to be the best looking in your class, in your category. And buyers, yes, this is a market that is certainly more neutral and maybe even beginning to favor you, but don't think that you're going to get huge discounts. This is a market that has kind of settled to what would typically be kind of more normal levels. I just want to say one more thing about October. October is a time when we should be seeing contract activity at about 900 for the month. So we're at 600 some now. I think we'll have to see where we're at when we get through October. The weekly contract sign came in below last year. So again, as I've already said, this is triggering some concerns about what this fall market is going to be like. The next few weeks should tell the tale. We're going to keep a close eye on that. You know I'm going to bring you all the news on this. So stay tuned. If you have questions, though, feel free to post them below. As always, feel free to reach out to me. Happy to talk to you about what's going on in the market. Okay, that's it for Manhattan. Now let's take a look at what's going on in Brooklyn. Okay, so now we're going to take a look at Brooklyn. Brooklyn is experiencing some similar things to the Manhattan market, but Brooklyn seems to be showing some signs of life in a way that Manhattan does not seem to be showing, at least at this point. So we're going to take a look. We're going to start with the 1 week look. We're going to look at the supply. 185 new properties came on the market. That is down about 25%. Contracts signed up about 23%, 128 contracts signed. The off-market properties. So these are the properties that have been sitting on the market for a while. 149 last week went off the market. That's up about 129%. Again, we are in this neutral market. Let's shift over. We're going to take a look at the 1 month in Brooklyn. We see an overall monthly supply of 939. That's almost 39%. And that is, definitely on track with where we're at with the season. We want to see these new properties coming on the market. Contracts signed down about 19%, 463. Usually it's a bit higher. Off market up almost 5%, 366. This is, again, a neutral market. This is a signal to buyers to be paying attention. We're going to get into some charts, though, that are going to talk more about how Brooklyn may experience a kind of a turnaround a little more quickly than Manhattan. And so buyers, this is especially important for you to be keeping an eye on because you don't really want to miss the opportunity that you have. Before I move on to those charts, I just want to also share with you the more micro data charts, the supply, the pending sales. This is market-wide in Brooklyn, all property types, all price points, showing you the price per square foot, for example, the median sale price, the monthly new supply, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. This is for those people who want even more detail. Again, any questions about these charts, these statistics, please reach out to me, post your questions below. I'm happy to answer them. We're going to take a look now at the supply in Brooklyn. So with regard to the supply, we're definitely seeing the inventory ticking down, but there's an interesting chart that I'll share with you at the end that talks about what's happening with the new properties in Brooklyn, which is different than what we're seeing in Manhattan. But before I get to that, let's talk about the demand. So the pending sales, we're continuing to see a bit of a slide as we are starting to enter into what is more of a normal level of activity. You know, we had such a frothy market, certainly last spring and even before that. We're kind of resetting to what would be normal, a normal pace of activity. Next few months, we're going to know a lot more, of course, as we get even more data about where we are right now. But as I said, you know, this is not as though we are seeing a kind of a huge imbalance where there's a huge amount of supply and no buyers, or there's a lot of buyers and no supply. We're kind of seeing this resetting going, things are going in tandem. And so it's a bit mysterious. We don't really know what that means overall because it's a little too soon to tell. But we certainly will know in the coming months how this is all going to settle out. I'd like to look at just this chart with the new listings. We're seeing a ticking down of the new listings, and that is consistent with these other charts with regard to the weekly contract sign. We definitely are seeing a little bump. It's not really at the level that it was at some months ago, but as I said, we're kind of moving into a reset, into a more normal level of activity. The last chart that I want to share with you is the old inventory versus the new inventory in Brooklyn based on days on the market. We're seeing the 30-day and under properties are increasing, which is a little strange to see that, even as the older listings are decreasing. Again, this is suggesting something a little more balanced. If you think about it, it does make sense. You have properties that have been on the market. The sellers were not getting what they wanted out of the market, and so they took their properties off the market. Okay, fine. I'm going to rent. I'm going to hang on to it. I'm not going to sell, at least not in this market. What we're also seeing, though, is that these new properties, these under 30-day properties that are coming on the market, we're definitely seeing an increase in those. So buyers, pay attention to those new properties, also understand there could be a little less negotiability with those newer properties. Usually within the first 30 days, the sellers aren't quite as likely to want to be hugely negotiable. You never know. Keep an eye on those. And if you see something that you really like and you feel that you see the value in the way that it's priced, you may want to make a move on it, only because likely other buyers will see it the same way, and then you don't want to miss out on it. Okay, that is it for the Brooklyn market, and that is it for this week's look at the state of the New York City real estate market. If you have any questions, please let me know. Please post them below. Feel free to subscribe if this information is helpful to you. I'll be back next week bringing you the very latest on what's happening in the New York City real estate market, from the luxury market to the Manhattan market to the Brooklyn market. In the meantime, take care.